Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Empowerment Half Hour on NTA Lagos Channel 10, the program that is centered around bringing you empowering solutions to socio-economic matters and events. Today, we shall be looking at advertising from an in-depth perspective. Before we go there, permit me to ask you a couple of questions. Do you know about Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, APCON? Do you know the ministry it belongs to? Do you know that APCON is centered around empowering Nigerians when it comes to advertising issues and other matters related to it? To do justice to this for us today is a veteran broadcaster and an authority in advertising here in Nigeria. He was actually bestowed with the highest honor of fellowship in the advertising profession in 2004. With us today is the Chief Executive and Registrar APCON, Alhaji Kankarofi. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to also be part of this new program, new initiative by NTA Channel 10. I'm very, very glad to be here. I think it's an opportunity to probably have a chance to explain to Lagosians and anywhere this program is aired about what APCON stands for. APCON is Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria. We are parastatal under the Federal Minister of Information, Mr. Lavara Maku. And like our sisters in the ministry, Nigerian Press Council, NTA, FRCN, NAN, News Agency of Nigeria, Nigerian Film and Video Censorship Board, Nigerian Press Council. These are some of the parastatals under the Honorable Minister of Information. A lot of people don't even believe APCON is a government department. It has been since 1988. It was established by Decree 1988, Decree 1992-1993. There, afterwards amended. And even though we have been, this is our 24th year in operation, due to some technicalities, advertising itself, is basically a profession dominated by Lagos and within the Lagos environment. And the key players are basically here, except, of course, I need to explain the number of sectoral groups that are being controlled under APCON. In APCON, we have a council, and it's made up of about 21 member council with all the stakeholders. The major stakeholders are the AAAN, the Social Advertising Agents of Nigeria, who have 10 members. They are the 100% professionals. But ADVAN, which is the advertisers, of course, they also have a member in the council. Now followed by Outdoor, OWAN, then Nigerian Newspaper Proprietors Association, Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, where I partly came from, and then MIPAN and Outdoor. 6 basically. These are the 6. If you look at the entire advertising industry, these are the core elements. Even though we still have model managers, we have voiceover artists, we have professional photographers who are also technically part of this profession. But for now, the law recognizes only 6. And then the universities, because we are not only advertiser regulation outfit, but also part of our mandate is to also supervise all the courses in mass communication, graphic arts, or marketing in all the polytechnics and universities in Nigeria.
Right, sir. So we'll be going for a break now, but when we come back, I would like to look at an intricate part of membership. Membership seems to be something very key for this particular episode. We'll be right back.
Can any society develop without empowerment? NTA Lagos Channel 10 and Microwave Empowerment Scheme has recorded lots of success stories in training, seminar, and during Empowerment Expo Beyond Borders. The program Empowerment Half Hour is now on TV. Time, 10:30 a.m. on Sundays. Are you a talented young entrepreneur or SME looking for empowerment? Here is an opportunity for partnership, collaboration, and youth empowerment. You can also be a guest on NTA Channel 10 Empowerment Half Hour. Visit NTA Channel 10 at Tejo Show or contact the consultant. You can also follow us on YouTube or Facebook. For comments and inquiries, visit telephone number 0705-534-3121 or 0802-3003-805.
You're welcome back to Empowerment Half Hour, and today we're discussing advertising. we would like to know the key statutory obligations of Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm very glad you asked me this. A lot of people don't know what we do. The first major assignment, as provided by law, is to determine who is a practitioner. That is, we license anybody in Nigeria who will practice advertising for gain. We issue him licenses. And then we determine the level of knowledge of that professional. And then number 3, we review those standards. The council review those standards of educational level. Sometimes the council could say, all right, we can allow non-graduates. They can also say only postgraduate diploma or postgraduate educational level or certificate can be attained. Now, number 4 is to control the practice in all aspects and ramifications. Finally, the council, as according to the law, can review those standards from time to time, which is the prerogative of the council. So you can see that it's not just me as the registrar's chief executive. No, I have a 21-member council with every stakeholder, consumer protection members. We have every Nigerian broadcasting NBC, radio, TV, they have members in the council. Like I told you, AAAN have 10 members in the council. All others have about 1 or 2, based as prescribed by the decree. And the decree says I must have at least a representative every university in the north or in the south. So this is basically what the council does. 6 issues. We are not politicians. I can't do nothing outside these 6 mandates.
Right,
that's basically what it is.
Right, thank you very much, sir. Sir, understanding that you are a veteran in the industry,
right,
and you are a member of the International Advertising Association,
yes,
I would like to ask you, let's look at membership in a holistic manner.
Right.
We would like to get your opinion.
Well, basically, you see, there is a lot of misinformation. We find that a lot of people who do not have our license do go to practice advertising. It is unfortunate that people assume that advertising is like journalism. You can just take your camera and then begin to report. No, even NUJ has started to sanitize. Because of the huge number of these sectoral groups, in Advan, for instance, anybody in marketing with an advertising bias, he must register. In radio or television or newspaper or any media in this country, with any element of advertising or marketing bias to sell airtime for gain and to bring in revenue, you must have a license by APCON. If you're in the newspaper too, if you're in outdoor, if you're in agency, mainstream agencies or media independents, because you buy airtime. Any single individual performing in this function, whether in the private, public, particularly in the banks, when you do a corporate affairs manager who buy airtime on TV or radio or any space, anybody who has any inkling of advertising function must and should be a license holder from APCON. If you do that, the law established in APCON says you cannot, including positions. If you're in a radio house or TV, anybody in marketing or sales, he must be licensed by APCON. If you are in newspaper, anybody in advertisement department, you must, once you're a salesman. You can never be a commercial manager or commercial director, whether in NTA, FRS, anywhere without being licensed. If you're an advertising agency, the client service, all the various categories of staffing within the AAAN, except probably those in admin, must hold a license. So you can see it is so vast. In Oman, for instance, in outdoor, there is a lot of potentials. Because in Oman, they are also technically also 100% in advertising, because from the design to the fabricating to the messages. So essentially, anybody who wants to practice advertising, particularly the content, he must hold a license.
All right, so that brings us to a very sensitive one, which is regulation.
Right.
Now, you just talked about membership, and we understand that before you attain this position as the Chief Executive Officer and Registrar, you've played major role in commercial department on radio and TV, marketing department. Sir, how does APCON regulate?
Right. You see, initially when we started, I had the privilege to be in council for 12 years before I was appointed to the position of Registrar Chief Executive. And I was essentially representing all the TV and radio houses in Nigeria under BON, Broadcast Organizations of Nigeria. And because of my interest, I was lucky to be involved with BON at a very, very early age, when I was basically a commercial salesman. And I had the privilege to work with the controller of marketing at that time, Mr. Alabi from FRCN. So I worked with virtually every veteran, and along the line I was able to gather experience. And then by the time I was a middle management staff, I was lucky that I had a very rapid rise because I had no boss. So every time it was just God. So, and I was, I think, the chairman BON for over 15 years before I took over from Ayodele Sulaiman, and now Shogun Alai took over from me. So basically, we run our meetings in all the states of the Federation. So I've been an advocate that within 1993, 1992 to date, I've actually had to go to every radio TV station to advocate that, look, for you, it is high time you become a license holder. Because ultimately, by the time the law catches up with everybody, you don't have the opportunity, you can be asked to leave. For instance, even as a registrar, I had to intervene in many, many stations, whereby the general managers, who are essentially politicians, will remove a marketing staff and then bring somebody from accounts or from outside. The law forbids that. So you see, one of the major benefits of those who comply, for instance, if those guys that are brought in to replace the coin, if they are licensed, of course I can't do nothing. But because they're not licensed, they're accountants, they can't be in marketing. In agencies too, if today we learn of anybody being put over and above a professional, we'll write to that agency to say, sorry, you cannot do that by law. Right now, because of our effort to sanitize and to enforce these legal provisions, we're having a lot of issues coming up now. Nigeria Institute of Marketing are licensed to also license marketers. But any marketer with a little bit of advertising function also must register with us. It's like any advert that contains food and drug must also have two vetting issues. He must vet with NAFDAC, he must vet with us. It's the law. We didn't create that, and I didn't sit down to run this law. So people must comply, even though it could be double taxation. But we have reported this to the Honorable Minister and is addressing it. So anybody who believes that he doesn't benefit by APCON membership, to me I think that's a fallacy. That's not true. Because if you are not, you can be removed, you can be prosecuted. Because right now we have a number of cases with the police that we're investigating. And we are writing memos to all those we believe are not too much aware. I have a little bit of a handicap in terms of budgeting provision because government couldn't give enough. And the media houses are not even supporting APCON. How much of it do we make? The license fees is very insignificant. We charge 5,000 for ordinary membership, associate membership, full membership, we just pay 10,000. Even fellows pay 25,000. And I have over 25 fellows who are already over 65. And because they are senior citizens, they don't pay money. They don't pay any practice fee. So you can see clearly. And you go to certain hotels, you get a discount. All right? And very soon we're now talking to airlines, we're talking to some social organization that could give you certain privileges. So anybody who does not believe that he is privileged to be a licensed holder of APCON, I think that is a fallacy. That is not true. Because if you do, we have the right to go and arrest you and interrogate you and find out why you are practicing illegally. So it's a privilege. It's like law. No lawyer will go before a judge to present this case. The judge will say, but get out of my court. You can't.
Thank you very much for the time. When we come back from this break that we're going now, we shall be having another perspective of this issue advertising. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Can any society develop without empowerment? NTA Lagos Channel 10 and Microwave Empowerment Scheme has recorded lots of success stories in training, seminar, and during Empowerment Expo Beyond Borders. The program Empowerment Half Hour is now on TV. Time, 10:30 a.m. on Sundays. Are you a talented young entrepreneur or SMA looking for empowerment? Here is an opportunity for partnership, collaboration, and youth empowerment. You can also be a guest on NTA Channel 10 Empowerment Half Hour. Visit NTA Channel 10 at Tejo Show or contact the consultant. You can also follow us on YouTube or Facebook. For comments and inquiries, visit telephone number 0705 534 3121 or 0802 3003 805.
Welcome back. It is still Empowerment Half Hour on NTA Lagos Channel 10. And today we've been looking at advertising. with the Chief Executive Officer of Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria. Now we'll be looking at a couple of questions like the benefits of APCON to the general public, the statutory committees that we have, what are their functions, and the benefit to the public. Back to our guest today, sir. We would like to hear from you. The other committees in APCON, we would like to get more information about it.
I'm glad you have raised this issue, and I think APCON, unlike my other colleagues in the other parastatals, our operation is entirely different. APCON operates with the council committees, and basically there are some that are statutory, that are legally backed, and some that are not legally backed. For instance,